today's presentation of adoption of technology into project monitoring, integrated project monitoring system. I have been in this field for the last 28 years. So I'll be making some points on this integrated project monitoring system. It will work? Okay. But before I start this presentation, I would like to make advance apologies of the fact that I may be giving a very harsh feedback about our Indian monitoring system, which I am witnessing for last 10 years. I came to India in 2013, and since then I have developed this particular company. For last 5 years, I have been working with National High Speed Rail Corporation Limited and providing project management and control services. So certainly, the topic for today's adoption of integrated project monitoring software for new rail and transit projects. You can see even almost all companies nowadays talking about dashboards, having progress measurement systems, and whatnot. But despite all that, we have been repeatedly failing in project execution. And today's project execution, the technocrats or engineers profession has become a business of lawyers. Every time I see that people are sitting in DRBs, dispute resolution boards, or in most of the time arbitrations, which are very time consuming and costly. But we are not improving at all on the project management maturity which is required. And we are not able to differentiate between administrative management and a project management. And that is where I want to bring some highlight for you, all you guys. Maybe this is time that we need to improve ourselves, how to improve the project management maturity in our country so that project can be completed on time. As per the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, the expected cost overrun of 364 projects out of 1476 projects which they are monitoring. Forget the total projects which are being executed in India. Only 1476 projects, we have been losing around 4.5 lakh crore rupees. You can check these statistics from the ministry websites. And 756 projects, almost more than 50% projects are getting delayed by more than 1 to 5 years. And despite all that, almost 50% projects are going for dispute resolution board or arbitration processes. Why all this is happening? To me, it's sheer poor project management maturity, and this is mainly in infrastructure sector. If you talk about oil and gas, the maturity is very high. The same Engineers India Limited, where I started my career, you see how they have managed so many big projects, but their claims and arbitrations are not so high, but this is very common in our infrastructure sector. The most probable reason which I could find out from last 10 years working with this Indian industry, that the most talented breed of India, whether you call it IAS or whether you call IRSEs, everybody says, I know everything. And this I know everything syndrome is killing the project management. People are not able to differentiate between a technical expert and a project management expert. When I advertise for a planning manager or project manager's position in the industry, the people who have spent 25 years doing QA/QC or maybe HSE or maybe a design engineer, they come to me and they said that, what is there in project management? I can do project management. And you take me. But project management requires systematic skilling of project decision making, which is missing from these technocrats. I'm not insulting, I'm not saying that they cannot do it, but you need to have some expertise, some specialized training on project management so that you can make proper decision making during the execution process. And one such example, almost 7-8 years ago, I was sitting with one of my seniors from IIT Roorkee. And when I was discussing with him that I want to meet your managing director regarding project management, he said, यार मनीष ये बताओ कि कितने खोखे कमाने हैं. प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट क्या होता है? प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट गवर्नमेंट ने फंड दे दिया, प्रोजेक्ट हो जाएगा, फंड नहीं दिया तो प्रोजेक्ट नहीं होगा. So this kind of, this I am telling you, a very senior person sitting with Indian Railways, that is the IQ and this is the knowledge of project management which is being practiced in India. Then second aspect, dashboard reporting system without integration. Many people talk about, I have this system, that system, but the system is not properly integrated. The system, the dashboard reporting is still being done in Excel sheets where you are calculating, manipulating things to please the management, of ministers, and you are not reporting the fact. And this is a fact of life. Nobody wants to get a beating from his boss. So what happens? During the project monitoring, you don't tell the truth to your boss. The boss, if he knows, he doesn't tell the truth to his boss. And this is how the project management is being killed in India. The infrastructure sector, there is no transparency and proper system monitoring. These dashboards, when they are prepared, they do not have the planned value. They in fact only talk about actual. अरे जब आपने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एग्जीक्यूशन किया है तो उस पर एक टाइमलाइन डिसाइड करी है जिसमें एक प्लान्ड वैल्यू है कि किस दिन तक उसको कॉन्ट्रैक्टर को क्या काम करना है. और जब आप अपनी मॉनिटरिंग एक्चुअल अचीवमेंट को उस बेसलाइन से कंपेयर ही नहीं कर रहे हो, you are not getting a early warning system and the failure is 100% sure. And this is what is exactly happening. Our dashboards does not report because of the conflict of interest that we don't want to get beating from the management, and that is how the projects are being failed during execution. The third, Primavera as a progress measurement tool. Everybody believes that Primavera, I have deployed Primavera, so I am doing best project management practices. 20 years ago, I believe, of course, I started working on Primavera in 1995 when I joined EIL, because EIL is using Primavera since 1985, I think. Infrastructure industry adopted this software a little late, probably. And everybody believes that Primavera is doing, we have adopted Primavera, so we are doing good progress monitoring. It is a myth. It is a 100% wrong conceptualization. Primavera is a time analysis tool. It is not a progress measurement tool. And anybody who says that Primavera can do progress measurement, it is totally wrong. The progress measurement is done using the spreadsheets, using the database of the business processes which you have adopted during execution. And this is not the way, and this is where, it means we talk about technology, but believe me, when I used to sit on various arbitrations and claims, I find that 90% of the schedules are wrong. The basic principle adopted by Primavera, that is critical path method or precedence diagramming method, is missing. People do not know what is total float, what is free float. And this is how execution is being done. And most of the problem is happening because client is not approving extension of time just because the schedules are not being prepared correctly. And every time there is nobody who takes care of progress monitoring reports, and people are just reporting it to the top management, whatever they are getting. Another things which I have monitored, that whenever management tries to monitor project, they usually visit the site, but they don't get into the project across the table and understand what is exactly happening. So going to site, you would never come to know the failure. You would come to know the failure once you know what was planned and what is actually happened. अगर आप ये क्लेम कर रहे हो कि मुझे 10,000 फाइल्स डालनी थी और मैंने 6,000 डाल दी हैं तो मैं बहुत अच्छा कर रहा हूं, it does not show your success. Maybe 10,000 फाइल करने का समय खत्म हो गया, आपको जब 10,000 फाइल कर लेनी थी तब आपने सिर्फ 6,000 करी हैं. And nobody is watching and nobody, even media is not talking about these failures. क्योंकि हमको अल्टीमेटली शायद मिनिस्टर साहब को भी ये दिखाना पड़ता है कि प्रोजेक्ट इज कंप्लीटेड ऑन टाइम, इन बजट, और यही सारे कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स हैं जिसकी वजह से हमने प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट की मैच्योरिटी को खत्म कर दिया. और आई एम नॉट अगेंस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी. टेक्नोलॉजी इज वेरी गुड. इट इज हैपनिंग एवरीवेयर. वी हैव बीन यूजिंग this Primavera across the globe for last more than 28 years. It is happening everywhere. Claims are being settled, EOTs are being settled, but unfortunately in India, it is not happening. Another important aspect which we never care is the communication management system. We are always, I have seen even many government organizations, they are allowing a Gmail system. We don't take care of the security aspect of the documentation. Even the officers are using Gmail system for communicating to contractors. And when they are going to claims and arbitration, this does not become an official record because you are not communicating from your office official mail IDs. And most of the documentation, believe me, 90% of claims and arbitrations are happening because during the engineering phase only. During the engineering phase, where the progress contribution may be hardly 5 to 8%, but failures are happening during this phase. And we do not monitor this particular phase during the execution. Last, financial progress versus physical progress. In Indian system, infrastructure division especially, sector only, I will talk, we do not know what is physical progress measurement system. We always talk about financial progress, the word which does not exist in project management directory, whether you read PMBOK, whether you read any other international system of project management, nobody knows financial progress. The financial progress words come from the cash flow comparison. To check the exposure analysis, how much exposure you have. But our industry is using this wrong convention of financial progress, and this is what the project problems are happening. Summarizing this, because my topic is to tell you what a system consists of, I will take you to those particular items where what particular a smart project management solution takes care of. SMART is a specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. This is a HR definition of SMART, and this is how a system should be built on. Most people believe that our progress monitoring starts when engineering, procurement, construction, or LSTK, well, L&T has been awarded the job, then only our progress monitoring starts. Believe me, the biggest failures happens during this engineering phase. The project management is to be applied during this particular, when you are conceiving the project execution, project planning is to be done at this stage. And this is not happening, and this is where the failure is happening. What is required from in today's technology environment? I have seen some wonderful systems which are there in the industry already. And some people are using the 24 axis of project data. Many times you guys are so busy technically, when you are sitting in a car, you should know. So your mobile is there, the application is there. You should be able to see what is happening on your project, what are the progress statistics, planned versus actual, where you are failing. So that kind of online alert and reminder system. So when you have a progress monitoring mechanism where planned versus actual analysis is there, you will come to know the early warning system where exactly the failure is happening. And that part is taken care by this smart PMS solution, online alerts and reminder through emails. Another important aspect of this particular system is single window management decision tool. Now, when you conceive a system where all the stakeholders, whether it's a design consultant, whether it's a contractor, whether PMC, if they are working on a same platform, the collaboration is important. The business processes are mapped through a communication management system. Your all dates, etc., will be recorded automatically, and your progress of the work will be updated automatically. And this is very much feasible, and it is happening. But it is not being properly used as of date. Then seamless integration of Primavera with this progress measurement system. See, remember, Primavera is a software which takes the input of progress to define the remaining duration, how much time is required for completing the balance work. but it is being used otherwise. So I think my time is over, so I think if you guys will permit, then I will go another 5-10 minutes, otherwise I will close it. Yeah, thank you, please. So many times we find that whenever I am reviewing the schedule or for one particular arbitration, we find that lot of integration problem. The survey is not linked with engineering. Engineering is not linked with procurement, and this is what a software Primavera provides this opportunity, but this is not being done properly and failure is happening. But this software, the smart PMS solution, can take care of that intricacies. It will define the progress measurement. It will also interface with your building information management, BIM software also. It can also interface with ERP system, and that is how the technology can be utilized. The important aspect is that the lowest level information is not required for management to monitor. You need to have a multi-level of project monitoring mechanism, and that is also feasible where the top management can scroll down from the top to the bottom where the measurable work is being done. That progress monitoring is to be done through this such software. We can have tabular reports, statistical reports, graphical analytics, so that you can make the planned versus actual comparison. Lot of drill down facilities required when you are doing the analysis that where the failure is being caused. That is being done in this software. So I think the time is running short. You all guys are hungry. I'll just glance through what are the facilities a advanced technology can take care in today's world. And maybe some other time when I will get some time, we can also have a 4D planning, 5D planning, provided we are using the 3D model, like the BIM is being used, then we can also provide 4D planning and 5D planning. So basically, what input requirement is there? You have some input data which is required. If these input data are available, then only, and these input data are generally being required at the beginning of the project. Sorry. During execution, most people believe that when EPCC has come, then only you have to do the proper planning and monitoring setup has to be done at the beginning, and then only you can get the proper reports and dashboards. This is various types of report. Many people believe only progress monitoring and cost monitoring is to be done. In today's world, that concept has failed. We have to do the quality monitoring also. We have to do the HSCC monitoring also. We need to do resource monitoring also, because many times the failure is happening because contractor has not deployed enough or required manpower. So obviously your project execution is likely to fail. The time schedule is likely to fail. This is various levels of report. The software can take care of the mobile as well as desktop integration. And these are the basically dashboards where you require a planned versus actual, as well as the forecasting is also equally necessary, because forecasting will tell you how progress is going to be achieved in rest of the balance period. And now most of the people don't talk about the forecasting. This particular table gives you the trend that how much planned versus actual contractor has achieved, and this tells what is his required rate to complete the project. Just like the cricket match, when we are monitoring ball by ball, our project execution also needs to be monitored ball by ball or week by week. And that is how the progress trend needs to be monitored, and these types of progress monitoring tools or progress monitoring is to be done, so that if somebody wants to, if the top management may be interested only in this, your lower management project director is interested in knowing how engineering is performing, how procurement is performing, go to the lower levels. And this is how you can have various types of planned versus actual with compared to the total quantity and the balance to go analysis. All is available through such kind of tools. This will also tell you what is the work front available, and that is how this can be done. So I'll just glance through it. All the engineering, how engineering, people don't take care of the engineering during execution. Everybody believes कि जब भी engineering करनी होगी कर लेंगे, but ये engineering is the one which is killing most of the project. इंजीनियरिंग में कौन सा डिलीवरेबल कितने दिन से आपके पीएमसी के पास खड़ा हुआ है. द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट ऑफ द मॉनिटरिंग व्हेन योर इंजीनियर हिमसेल्फ इज नॉट गिविंग अप्रूवल ऑन टाइम. That is the liability which employers organizations are building up and which goes unnoticed, nobody monitors, and contractors enjoys the luxury of EOT. This is pre-ordering, post-ordering performance. You have graphical as well as tabular reporting formats. I don't have much time, so I cannot explain all these things. So this is construction. This is milestone performance. Every project, Primavera has a milestone facility. Project monitoring, you see the green line is achievement, the bar chart. The blue line is planned one. This is what was committed. And this red outside is showing you what is the delays happening on this particular project. So these type of outputs will give a very big clarity to the top management. And then only if management is clear about the failure, then only a corrective action is expected. But it is because we do not give the right information to the management, we fail in project execution. I think this is plant and machinery, plant versus actual, how much equipment was required, supposed to be deployed, how much actually deployed. This is a very big concern for project employers to monitor the performance of contractors.
So kindly requesting you to wind up.
I think that's all from my side. So all this is possible basically through the communication management process. If the communication management is being taken care properly, everything can be controlled and it can be monitored. That's all from my side. I think thank you very much indeed for your patient hearing. I'm really sorry. I apologize, ma'am. Thank you very much.